Like this.
And the best practice is letting go and giving it to God. And really, it what does it look like? When you feel like you're finna go off or you feel like something isn't right, talk to God right there. Talk to him. God, what do you want me to do? I come to you humble. I know that I'm just man of flesh and I don't have all the answers, but I know that you're the Almighty, you're the All High. So I ask you to take over the situation. You use me as your vessel. Speak to me and speak through me so that it can be done of your will and your way and not of my own. Because myself, I sin and I know that I'm full of imperfections, but I know that you are the one perfect. And let God have it. And then he'll give you clarity and the answers and he'll take over that situation for you. And that's what I did. And when I seen him do it, not only did he do that, he said, but since you did this, I'm going to give you this and this. And won't he do it? I'm going to leave it at that. Go ahead, Pete. I see you writing something down. Won't he do it?
So one of my, I have, and this is actually, I think it's in like the last chapter of my book, but I talk about, and I have this quote that I wrote, but it's logic versus emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And years ago, I came across this, and I was talking with a cousin of mine, and I came across this years ago: logic versus emotion, and the ability to track your logical responses
Mm-hmm.
and put that into practice into a best habit, a best practice and a habit. So, we talk about the two energies. You have logic versus emotion. Growing up, these seeds are planted.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, express yourself, express your feelings, talk about your feelings, express your emotions, what you're feeling, express your feelings, express your emotions, express your emotions, from like as far back as you can remember. And it's taught in schools, it's taught in poems, it's even in churches. The emotions and being in tune with, and it's okay and recognizing, which is cool. But one thing that's not really discussed is utilizing logic. One thing that's not usually discussed is expressing logic, perfecting logic, manifesting your next step with logic. So I call it basically the battle between logic versus emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Emotion, which is raw, uncut, gives people a burst of some type of energy, whatever it may be. People are taught to be in tune with it, and even if they wasn't taught, they go be in tune with their emotions. What takes more work is learning how to be equally in tune with your logical responses. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. A person will have an emotional response to something, but at some point, no matter how long it takes, week, day, month, year, whatever, logic will kick in at some point for even just a halfway wise individual. Logic will kick in. Just a halfway competent individual, since we're talking about unconsciously competent, consciously incompetent, and consciously competent. Just for a halfway competent person, at some point, logic will kick in, and they'll be like, "Dang, what I said, I may have been right, but how I said it was wrong, and
Mm-hmm.
I could have delivered that in a more logical way, which would have
Mm-hmm.
been received from the individual in a more responsive way and more healthy for everybody."
Mm-hmm. Right.
And what you did because of your relationship with God
Mm-hmm.
was logic.
Mm-hmm.
God gives you these gifts. One of the gifts, you just got to put them into practice. And one of the gifts that God gives us all and gave you and that you put into practice the other day with your sister was the gift and the power of logic.
Mm-hmm.
You chose, even though your sister saw your emotion that you were
Mm-hmm.
not expressing, she was ready to receive the emotion, how you might have given it, and she was calling for you to give it, but you chose logic. And the logical response was not to respond until you found out the best response. Not any response. What's the best response? So where do I go to get that best response? That was logic right there in that moment.
Go ahead and preach, Pastor.
And because you chose logic, the power of logic, that is your gift, your right to utilize that God gave you, and you went to God, God said, I see your logic, son. And I appreciate you utilizing logic. And of course, I'm going to give you the answer. And I'll only give you the answer. The steps to follow this answer are going to be even better. Not just for you, but for those close to you who are involved in this situation. So, logic versus emotion. People are often easily triggered to respond with emotion because it's the easiest thing to do. It's taught as a practice, and people have been practicing it for a very long time. But like I said, like we said, just because a person been practicing something don't mean that they've been consistent practicing something that is not good.
Right.
So a best practice, there goes Victor. A best practice is logic versus or over emotion. And what you were just speaking about, your God-given power, your God-given right to express, even though humans haven't taught people to use logic over emotions, because most humans just go off emotions. God speaking to you, and because your relationship with God told you to use logic versus emotion and over emotion. Continue to use logic and make that an addiction. Say it again. Continue to use logic and make that an addiction. See, we can be addicted to great things that serve purpose in our life, build us up, and build up others around us. We can have a craving for things that serve purpose in our life, that are positive driving forces in our life. We can have these cravings, and that's what a best practice is. A best practice is a craving that you satisfy that serves a real purpose in your life and changes your life for the better. It's a lifestyle change that is worthy of being a craving and satisfying that craving, like most people satisfy bad cravings. Well, if a person is capable of satisfying a bad craving, if they flip the coin, they are more than capable of satisfying a worthy craving and making that an addiction, making that a craving, and their life will go in the right direction, which honestly, it ain't this way or that way, it's this way.
Hello.
So be in the practice of logic versus emotion, like my boy, my brother, KC, gave a description of, which is your God-given power and right. And also understand that satisfy your healthy cravings that serve a purpose in your life and that are worthy to your life, just like a person will satisfy selfishly craving that serves no purpose. I crave my best practices. It is a craving for me.
That was even a better word. I like that better.
I crave to exercise and take care of my temple. I crave to study and continuously learn so I can continue to teach. I crave to recognize blessings and control my emotions. I crave to utilize logic versus over emotion. I crave these things that improve me, improvement. I crave to be new and improved every day. So satisfy those cravings that make you new and improved daily. It is a craving that's worthy of satisfying. It is a good addiction. I'm addicted to best practices.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? But you brought me all the way back. Won't he do it? Listen, When I said addiction, I start talking about addiction, and then you brought it all the way back to what I wanted you to bring it back to. Want to
Yeah.
do it. Now, we think when we hear the word addiction, we automatically think something bad, being addicted to something bad. But the way you came with it, and when you said it, just made me smile because you put another word in place of addiction. Crave. You crave something. Because I was going to ask, because we all get addicted to something. Too much exercise, too much money. I want to keep getting money. I'm addicted to getting money. I'm addicted to exercise. I'm addicted to eating healthy. We get too much of anything makes you an addict, right? The question now is, do it all got to be bad? Do it all got to be bad? It's not bad. It doesn't all have to be a bad addiction. And for one of my family members, I said to him, "Hey, we all get addicted. You just got to change your addiction. Change your addiction. Right now, I'm addicted to God and getting my business and my peace. And
Addicted to peace.
boy, right? I'd be addicted to peace because that's self-explanatory.